The autonomic nervous system, which is what makes us breathe whether we want to or not, has two parts. It has the parasympathetic and the sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Now the sympathetic we're all familiar with. It's the fight-flight. Yeah? It's the one that makes us go on adrenaline when a car is coming and we have to swerve.
Right.
Yeah, so that puts us on sympathetic. And then when we go off of sympathetic, then slowly it switches over to parasympathetic, which is the rejuvenating, the relaxing, the soothing part of the autonomic nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're on sympathetic, we cannot be on parasympathetic. It's either one or the other.
Right.
So many of us live our lives in the sympathetic.
Especially commuters.
Yes. And so every time we can get a chance to go into parasympathetic, what happens is we relax, we rejuvenate, our bodies slow down, and in fact, the ninjas and the yogis who've learned how to control the autonomic nervous system through trance, autosuggestion, hypnosis or meditation, whatever you want to call that, they take the autonomic nervous system and slide it so far into the parasympathetic that they can slow the blood and slow the breathing and slow the aging process itself. So
sounds good to me.
what happens when I work on people is they go into parasympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And in that physicalized state, it also gives you alpha,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes appears to be sleep, but it's not, as you may know.
Well, yeah, as a hypnotist.
As a hypnotist, you know
I
that
spend a lot of
alpha
time
is
there,
not
right?
sleep.
Exactly.
It's an incredibly relaxing, rejuvenating state.
Mm-hmm.
And so many therapists say, well, I couldn't be a massage therapist because I would get so worn out after working so hard on people. And when you incorporate lymphatic work, which activates the parasympathetic, it not only activates it for your client, it does for yourself.
Right.
And so I'm in that meditative state with the people I'm working on.
That's wonderful because your energy then puts them in that kind of a state too.
And we just the same as we know that two hearts start to resonate together
Mm-hmm.
until there's one rhythm.
Right.
That's the rhythm that we're resonating in.
Most of the viewers at home may not even be aware of their lymphatic system and how it affects the body, so let's start with basics. Can you tell me, what's a lymph node? What is the lymphatic system?
Well, the lymphatic system is the circulation of the water in the body. It's your internal ocean. We all say that we started from the ocean, and now the ocean is inside of us, and that's the lymph. The blood circulates through the pumping of the heart, and it stays inside membranes. But the lymph is just like the blood. It's plasma without the red blood cells, but it permeates through the whole tissue, and it washes the body. And so its two functions are to carry out waste products and to bring in the immune system. And so the lymph nodes are one part of the lymphatic system. We're all familiar with the lymph nodes here.
Right.
What we call
So
our swollen glands,
right,
yes.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
And then we have lymph nodes under the arms,
Uh-huh.
and at the groin, and at the back of the knee. And then we actually have lymph nodes all throughout the body, but those are the main places that they are.
Oh, I see. Well, then are those like major lymph nodes and you have
Yeah.
minor lymph nodes as
Yeah,
well?
I would say those are the main water filtration places for the body.
Mm-hmm.
So the lymph itself is the plasma, but the immune system is produced in the bone marrow originally, and then it travels either to the spleen or to the thymus to become either a T cell or a B cell. And then when those are specialized, they travel, they circulate. I call them the warriors, the defense system.
Okay.
They circulate through the lymphatic system. One of the things that people don't realize about the lymphatic system is there's nothing pumping it like the heart is always pumping the blood.
Right.
The thing that pumps the lymph is muscle contraction and activity, physical activity.
So people that are not getting exercise and don't have that kind of activity, are their lymph nodes sort of lazy?
Yes, I would say, yes, that's true. They become sluggish, they become swampy. And so you need that physical exercise. The muscle contraction itself will start to move the lymph. That's why when people are on bed rest, the nurses come in and turn them all the time, because if they stay in one position, that swamp just kind of sits there, and then the toxins and the waste products aren't mobilized and washed out of the body, and then it becomes a big problem if it becomes bed sores, say.
Right. Well, now with lymphatic massage, is this something that people recovering from illnesses would want to experience, or anybody? I mean,
actually, it's for everyone. It's for everyone. We all need our filtering systems rejuvenated. And my teacher, Lauren Barry, he was a registered physical therapist from Redding, California, and he passed on in '83. But his practice was a huge, evolved bodywork system. And one of the small parts of it is what I'm now teaching, the lymphatic drainage. But his teaching was always to compare the body to a car. And so the body mechanics say your liver is like your oil filter, and your lungs are like your radiator. And so the lymph is a hydraulic system, and it's the cleansing system, the system that washes the whole body. So the electric system in a car would be like your acupuncture meridians.
Oh, okay.
So he always used that analogy. And so everybody, when they're maintaining a car, needs to take care of their oil filter and their fuel filter and changing the radiator and rotating the tires. And so we all need lymphatic drainage within our own cleansing ordeal, cleansing maintenance.
Right, but what makes it different?
What makes it different? Almost every circulatory massage, such as Swedish massage, any massage that uses an oil to effleurage or pass over the muscles, will create a lymphatic drainage effect. But lymphatic drainage specifically is a very gentle, subtle, repetitive touch that's different than Swedish or sports massage, which is more involved with the muscle itself. So usually when I'm talking to my students about what the touch level is, I say, take a hold of your wrist. You feel the bone? What kind of pressure does it take to hold the bone? That's one density. That's one level of touch.
Right.
Now take a hold of your muscle. What kind of level of touch does it take to touch the muscle?
Well, it's a whole different thing. Yeah.
And then if you're familiar with energy work or Reiki or any of that, you say, just imagine that you're touching your energy field. What kind of touch is that? And so the touch for lymphatic is between the touch for an energy field and for muscle.
So it's a very gentle...
It's very gentle. It's very soothing. And it's a watery touch. You touch with the kind of tool that will move what you're trying to move. So if you're trying to move water, you use a watery tool. If you're trying to move stone, you use a stone shovel.
Right. And
I had cleared the swamp that had been sitting in my body. Many people who have sinusitis also have congestion in the chest and in the digestive system. And so until you clear out that basic swamp that's in the body, I call it silt at the river, at the mouth of the river. So the mouth of the river for the whole body comes to about this area of the body, which I also wanted to talk about because it's the solar plexus and the third chakra in the chakra system. And so it's interesting that all the neural plexuses seem to correspond with the chakra system and the meridian system.
Okay.